What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to this episode of G4 Outdoors. Today I did it. I bought one of my dream trucks, a 2019 Chevrolet 1500 High Country. I've been in love with these trucks for quite a while. They came into the 2020 body style. I'm not really a huge fan of the new grills. Of course, all that stuff, you know, you get used to it, you start liking those vehicles a lot more. But I've really liked the High Country models for quite a while. I've been wanting one for quite some time. I came into a super deal. If you're ever buying a new vehicle, you need to wait towards the end of the year, towards the end of that month, and you are going to come away with a screaming deal as long as you do your part and stand your ground. Don't go to a car dealership needing a vehicle. Go to a dealership wanting a vehicle. That way you have the ability to walk away at any time you want, stand your ground, and you'll get the price that you want. But anyways, on this one right here, we have a 6.2 liter V8. It's a horse, let me tell you. 420 horsepower, 460 foot-pounds of torque. This thing is a beast, and it is fun to drive. With the High Country package, this is the Z71 High Country. It has Rancho shocks front and back, but even though they're Rancho made for off-road, this thing still rides like a Cadillac. You really got to get into one of these to see how it drives. Getting away from my old Toyota Tacoma here, I am sad to see this thing go. It's a 2010. I bought it in 2010, so 19 years. You don't do math on camera. Learn your lesson. 9 years I've had this, and I've grown extremely comfortable driving this truck. Absolutely nothing wrong with this. Has a cracked headlight lens. The chrome on the grill is bubbling up, chrome. But other than that, it's such a little bitty truck, and I've learned to maneuver this truck. I've learned where each of the corners are. You know, I could just dart this thing in and out of anywhere that I wanted to go. The interior is so small, and you know, it's a good truck. It's only got 100,000 miles on it. It just turned 100. So it's got another 100,000, another 300,000 on this left to go. If you're in Smithville, come out to Chevrolet, get this pickup. You will not regret it. I'll even sell you a set of tires on it. So over here, I've been driving this for a full day now, and let me tell you, it's quite a difference stepping into this. It's not a big truck, but when I get in here and start driving, it's hard to tell. It feels like I'm taking up the entire road, but I'm not. It's just a huge difference going from this little bitty Tacoma all the way up to this big thing. And I tell you what, the first night I got home, I already wrecked it. I already wrecked it in my garage. I did. I jumped up over one of my mowers in my garage, grabbed a hold of the exhaust, and I pulled that mower out with it. Just wasn't paying attention. So yeah, I already have a bent up exhaust on this thing right here. Anyway, we'll get over it pretty quick. You got to put the first scratch in there sometime, right? So anyways, I'm going to take you inside here and show you a little bit about this truck. As you can see, I don't know when I'm going to put it in here. I got the windows tinted already, 35% in the back, 20% on the front doors, and then 5% right above the window. But anyway, I'm going to take you on the trip around this truck. Alright, so here we are a week later. I broke my $600 camera lens, so I couldn't finish that video. One of the things I was worried about when I bought this truck was this thing fitting in my garage. Let's get down here in the dark and run up here to the front. And that is all the room I've got. And two vehicles in a two-vehicle garage. It's pretty tight. It's pretty tight. So yeah, she just barely squeaks in there, but it's in there. So that's one thing that I really wanted it to be able to do, because with a solid black truck, it's so dirty already. If this was red or white, this wouldn't be dirty at all. It'd look pretty clean. Another option that I wanted on this was, you know, a smaller wheel compared to a larger tire. I wanted more sidewall for a smoother ride. When you get into the low profile tires, your ride's actually going to be a little bit more firm, just because there's not enough rubber there, or as much rubber there to bounce around. So the larger tires, that's a lot more rubber and that's a lot more suspension. People don't really think of that, but the low profile tires actually do give you a firmer ride. And that's not what I'm in for. I'm in for a smooth ride for traveling and whatnot. And the 6.2 liter. Let's get this out of the garage and see what it'll do. Time to roll the window down for the first time. Now these are 20% on the sides. There's a lot of light out there. This does have a lot of switches and whatnot on it. This one here is for off-road downhill ascent. This one here is for an actual house plug-in 110 volt. Skid control. The tailgate, automatic tailgate. You can just push that and the tailgate comes down. One thing I do not like is the auto stop. So when you come to a stoplight, the engine turns off. And it comes back on pretty quickly, but you really feel a lot of hesitating and a big clunk. Not a big clunk, you just feel the engine kick back in, and I don't like this. I turn this off. This will be your parking warning, parking sensors, what's in front of you, what's behind you, and lane keep assist. Lane keep assist works pretty good. It just keeps you in between the lines, whether you're in cruise control or not. And down here you have a phone charger, so if you have a compatible phone, you just lay your phone down there and it'll start charging. The year before this, I think that they had a better console right here. This one here is a little bit less than what the other one, the 1918s, were. And overall, it's got a, this thing's monstrous. What? They do have a shelf that you can buy to put up on top of here to have a shelf organizer, because of right now there's no place to put anything except for all the way down in there. So I am doing all right on fuel mileage. Let's see, it's cold outside, so I let it start up and idle for about 10 minutes. That's why that dropped down to 16.6, but working on only 538 miles, running it really rough or whatnot, you know, just enjoying the vehicle for a while. I'm running up to 20. I feel like this is going to level out at 22 and a half, maybe 22, but 16 for the time being. And the only reason that's low is because the mileage is low, and it takes a while for that to get into its own rhythm. So here on the gauge cluster, I'll run through some things. You have your first option, which is just your speed, and this also picks up speed limits, so it'll tell you what the speed limit is that you're on. Of course, your distance A, your distance B, for trip 1, trip 2, and you can see I'm running an average on this fuel tank of 17.4. Fuel range 279 to empty. It's got your oil life, your tire pressure, your air filter life, your brake pad life. Fuel economy at the moment, you can see my best so far is 20.3. I feel like that's going to run up to 22 to 23 as time goes on, because you can see I've only got 538 miles on here. Follow distance, it's only got 20 hours on the motor, so very low. Transmission temperature, if you're off-roading, this is showing what's going on. It's showing I've got a 2% grade out here in front of me, and that's because of my driveway, so pretty cool there. And it shows you if you're in 2 or 4-wheel drive. Now, one of the really cool features is the auto start on this. When you auto start this in the wintertime or summertime, depending on the weather, this does have sensors in it. It knows when it's hot or cold outside. So I haven't been able to test it in the wintertime, of course. I just got it, or in the summertime. But in the wintertime, when I don't know, it didn't even come with an owner's book. I might have to go get that to find out the real specs on that. But if it's cold outside and you auto start this, the heater automatically raises the temperature of the cab, the steering wheel heater comes on, and the seat heaters come on. So when you get into this thing, everything is perfectly warmed up. So driving along, like I say, it's very quiet in here, and the ride quality is extremely smooth. It's a dream to ride in this thing, along with the noise. It's such a peaceful ride. The electronic steering, I can get along with the electronic steering. If I was an actual off-road person, I would want a mechanical hydraulic steering, but just being on the highway, the electronic steering really eliminates a lot of the fatigue out of your driving. I think it's safe to do so right where I'm at. What am I going to do? I'm going to go into sport. There's nobody coming in behind me. And after this white car, we're going to take off. So yeah, I'm going to torque it up a little bit, and 0 to 60, here we go. And you'll see this thing bottom out at 111. 112. Another cool feature on here is the television mirror. As you can see, my hand's not in the mirror, There's an actual camera on the back that shows you what's behind there. Throw the lever and it actually turns back into a mirror. Hello. But yeah, this took like a day to get used to because everything's so clear. It looks like this guy's running right up into my rear end, but he's really not. He's pretty far back there. As a matter of fact, if we go home, come over here, users, camera, and go back to where we at over here, the rear, you can see he's pretty far back there, but in that mirror right there, he's looks like he's right up on me. The camera feature on here is just super nice to have. I really enjoy having this for some reason. So with all the setup in here, everything is designed to be ran off of the steering wheel. There's nothing in this truck that you can't do without taking your hands off the steering wheel. You got your radio, volume, radio, cruise control. You can talk to your vehicle over here. You can control the radio over here. All of your menu systems are on your steering wheel. So it's a very, I don't know if you'd call it safety. It is safety, yeah, just keeping your hands on the wheel. Everything's right here in the infotainment system in front of you on the dash. So just running down the road. So some other nice features in here. I probably already said this, but a regular 110 outlet, cigarette plug port here, USB and micro USB, brake control right here. I've already towed a trailer with this. It's a pretty heavy trailer, got 12 miles a gallon with that. I don't know the actual weight of that trailer, but I do like the trailer brakes being right here in a handy spot. And if I haven't already gone over it, it's got heated seats for the butt and back, or just the back, and cooled seats, and that goes for passenger and driver. And the Bose stereo system, I'm telling you, it is very loud. I've had a built system before. Ooh, that's been a long time ago, 20 years. I was pushing 124 decibels, and that took quite a bit of money to get to that back in 94, like I say, quite a while ago. This one is quite a bit louder than my car that I had. So the bass in here is pretty good. Actually, it's not pretty good. It's really good in here. The sound system's incredible. And going back to creature comforts, back here we have heated seats for the rear. And again, you have your micro USB or USB and a cigarette lighter port there, along with ventilation for the rear passengers. And I have my work stuff in here, but you can see the legroom back here. Tremendous amount of legroom. Little storage port back here behind the seats. This whole seat does not fold down, but it's very comfortable for a couple of people to ride back there. Headroom is pretty darn good. It's got the cutout here in case you are super tall. I don't know anybody that tall, so I don't really need that. It's got bed lights back here. That's really good for when you're shutting this off and then you get out. You can actually turn it on from the inside, but when you get out of the truck, those bed lights stay on for a little bit of time. I think 30 seconds, but that's super handy. Now, something about under the hood. Not everybody's going to open the hood and want to see something beautiful or impressive in here, but there is absolutely nothing impressive underneath the hood. It's just full of 6.2 goodness. Now, this thing has cameras galore. You have a camera right here. That's for your front view, of course. You have cameras underneath on both sides. You have a camera right up there in the middle, and you've got two cameras, one camera here and one that's not even in focus. All right, you have one camera here and one camera there. So there are cameras all over this thing, and that's what gives you a 360 view around the vehicle if you choose that option on your dash when parking in tight areas or wanting to know exactly where you're at a certain location. Really helps for backing up in this garage. I don't know if you can see it. That's not much room over there to get this thing backed up into. And so having that camera system really helps out in squeezing this thing into that spot right there. Let's get into something that I don't like about this truck. And it's not that big of a deal. It's just one of the reasons why this truck came in as cheap as it did is the color. It's just black. There's not a pearl to it. There's not a There's not a metal flake to it. It's just black, jet black. And just by looking by the lens back here, it's not really showing how dirty this actually is. Oh, God. Oh, that hurt. One of the features I'm not too excited about. I mean, I'm glad it's here. It's handy. But an automatic rear gate. It's a little excessive. I'll use it, I think. Do I have to use it? It automatically lifts up. Do I have to use it? Yes, I have to use it. There's not a handle there. Okay, that's a bummer. Did not know that, but you know, it is handy to have. One reason why I don't like it is because if there's something here, it's going to come down and hit it. You don't have the option of stopping that. And what I mean by that is here on my keychain. What if, I'm just saying what if that accidentally happened? I'd come down on something and I wouldn't have the knowledge of that happening. Is it going to lift? Or is it just down? Yeah, that's just down. What if I put groceries on here and lifted it up? Oh yeah, it stops real easy. Let's put it back up. Now, what if there was a car behind me? Oh yeah, there's a little bit of weight to it, but it's not gonna really damage. So, yeah, I don't know. I can see those motors failing sometime in the future. So out of all the vehicles that I've owned over my lifespan, it's been a lot of cars. I don't have any of them really documented except for these goofballs. So cute. I don't have any of them documented except for the Camry. You can go back and watch that video if you want to. Is it a little bit braggalicious doing a video on this? Yeah, somewhat. But I've got it on video now that I've got this, all the options that are on it and all the goody stuff on there. Like, I don't have my first car. I don't have a picture of my first yellow Ford Pinto made in 1974. And that had such a small motor in it. It was designated as cc's, not cubic inches. So yeah, super small motor in that. But guys, this is my new truck. I hope you enjoyed the video. Just a quick overview of my new truck and everything that's on it. So if you like the video, guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. We'll see you in the next one. I'm out. Grass and guns.